Minnie, and I'll be presenting about artificial intelligence enabled project management, the systematic review of it. Basically, I'll be talking about AI and automation in project mode and how it's executed and how human focus or strategic focus and ethical leadership. On the next page. It's the overview part. So in the Industry 5.0 era, companies use technology like artificial intelligence to enable more effective and sustainable and human-centered production. AI can enhance project management by improving performance, supporting decision-making made in companies, and increasing the chance of project success, more especially on the graph that was showing on construction and IT that had large numbers, through better planning, measurements, and handling uncertainty. So during the pandemic, it showed that we need to rethink an existing or try another approach and method in how we can work as the entire world, because we were unable to do certain things because we were not in Industry 5.0. So despite evidence that AI improves productivity and work quality, there is still a lack of comprehensive studies examining its role across project management, performance domain, and which this project aim to address. So on this part, basically in Industry 4.0, it's about robots and data networks and interconnection in factories. And the robots or the programs need assistance of people in order for it to work properly. Then in the Industry 5.0, it works in real time, it optimizes costs, sustainable solution, greater approach is obtained in companies. So on this part, we have the PIM slide number 3. Okay, and then we have the Pingbox 7th edition. So first it was like we had the Pingbox 6th edition. And on the 6th edition, it was different because it was process based and following steps. Like it was more like a map that you have to follow from the start to the end. And while we were reading, it shows that it has 49 steps that of processing that you had to follow during that part. And then we now transist to the 7th edition, which represents a move from process driven and how to do to performance driven and how to deliver value management. So on this part, it's like automation works as a mechanic engine for this shift. This shift occurs during the rise of in Industry 5.0 from the checklist process based to outcome performance based. So this is mostly about the performance that is done, which has to do with simulation and machine learning. And then to identify that AI is no longer optional in it is the necessary engine for managing modern complexity. So I believe every manager has to have an idea of how it actually works. They don't necessarily need to know how to program, but they have to have an idea of how to work, because the world is changing and revolving into another stage. And then on the automation part, which was in Industry 4.0, it focused on data. And then in Industry 5.0, it's a human-centric automation, using automation to achieve green project goals and resilient system. So on this part, automation handles data volume and human no longer can manage manually. So on this part, I think it was a shift that happened that on the IPA, which is the intelligent process automation. So which is the combination of traditional robots tasks with advanced artificial intelligence techniques like machine learning and fuzzy logic. So in this part, it analyzed project data and learning from past mistakes. So I think in the usage of the IPA, it is more efficient and it reduces the workload from project managers, because when um when you simulate, it has to be done several times. Yet when it's humans doing that, the progress will be much slower. So please open slide number 4. So on this part, it was basically about the study that in the human narrative, this isn't just one person's opinion, but it was a massive group of innovation, like different people, different papers were taken, and then they selected a record of about 124 primary studies published from 2011 to 2022, like the past decade. I think it was also during the COVID-19 era, because that's when they also gave them like an insight that if a pandemic like this would strike in the future, will we be able to survive the time? So using this Prisma framework, then we have the why. The paper aims to bridge the gap in AI and the Kimbok of 7th edition, and it moves projects managers from the process-based and approach to the performance-based approach. So on this part, AI isn't everywhere currently. In some places, they are still in industry 4.3, I believe. And it is concentrated where data is mostly structured. And then with the construction part, we have like where AI is used, it's like 47%. And then we have the IT part, which is like 22%. And then we have the tech hierarchy, which has the machine learning. And with the machine learning, it's also a growing part that has 40%. And its research appears in all studies, and it follows the fuzzy logic, which is 14%, and the historic, which is like 13. Sapna, please open the next one. Oh, sorry, before I forget, like on the fuzzy approach, it's like it's a logic part that mimics like the human understanding, how human reason. And then I also had the machine learning, which is like a historic data, which comes with a lot of historic data, and then with it, it corrects one, or maybe it runs it to get like different answers in order for it to get the one proper correct one that has to be used like in a project setup. And then the heuristic, it's like a optimization algorithm, and it's like finding the best possible solution.
Good.
And then, oh, why is it different? The
You forgot.
PPT sound seems different here.
You upload the
Why
wrong
is
one.
this?
You have to go with it.
Ah! Oh my God. Okay, can I continue? So,
Oh,
and then on these parts, it's like the PMTQ, which is the project management technology. So this is basically like it is the ability to adapt, manage, and devise value through emerging technologies. And it represents the digital IQ of a leader, which is in could be a project manager, and it is not about becoming a programmer but about being a system orchestrator. So on this part, it's like moving from managing software tools to managing like the intelligent system that actively assist in decision making. So on this part, it's like the PMTQ, it's like a more like a critical skill of the future. So like in the future, project managers, I believe, won't be determined by the ability to draw like the graphical charts that they have, like in the previous time, whereby managers will just be like showing charts, oh, this is how it's going, this is the flow of like deliveries if it's like in a factory setup. But it will be like by the digital IQ, which is like automated algorithm and orchestrated by the ecosystem of humans.
okay, good.
This is messed up.
Okay, well, let's go move on to the next one. You don't have much
Okay,
time, actually.
okay, and then we
Yeah.
have the three critical pillars of PMTQ. So which is like always on curiosity. And we have the other one, which is all intensive leadership. So always on curiosity, it's like managers are early adapters of this part. And then they don't wait for the company to mandate a tool, they proactively speak solutions. And then applications, for an example, in natural language processing, not just like chatbots, but as a way to automate. And then we have the second one, which is like all-inclusive leadership, which includes like managing the hybrid part. And in Industry 5.0 environment, your team consists of humans and algorithms. So on this part, a high PMTQ manager manages an AI focusing model with the same and performance expectations they apply to human analysis. So I think the second one it's more important because like you can manage like the hybrid team and ecosystem where some members are human and algorithm or automated bots. So which leads AI from verifying its data. And also it makes sure that you don't feel threatened by automation. Like if you are an employee, you don't feel like you are threatened or you cannot deliver the way it is. So and then it could be the future proof talent pool. So leaders must build teams that are agile enough to pivot. So since technology changes faster than project life cycle, I didn't go through the dip into the project's life cycle. The
Mm-hmm.
PMTQ leaders hires the adaptability rather than a specific software skill. So on this part, it's like recruit teams that do not with skills to pivot when the technology changes. So since technology changes I believe every month, even now, there's a person who's just discovering something that will soon be published. So this is where it works. And then please open the next one, slide number 7. And then we have the PMTQ as a strategic filter. So on this part, it is a crucial boundary. AI is at least effective in teams and stakeholders. And a manager with high PMTQ knows exactly where the machine ends and the human begins. So this will make it a different from managers that will be managing in the 5.0 era than those who are managing in the 4.0 or 3.0 era. And then the orchestration. So they delegate the high skill like complex maths, like monitoring via CN to the AI. This creates cognitive cognitive
Cognitive
liberation,
ration.
allowing the
Yes.
manager to spend like 100% of their energy of power skills. And on this part, I think on this part, I think with this part, it will be an easier. It's not like they're going to replace like people's jobs, but I think it will make it much easier instead of having to spend like a lot of time in trying to solve complex math problems there. AI will be able to generate the correct answer or how things should be done to make it simpler. And then the second section, it's like automation
Okay,
of
I will
industry.
have to stop you because you're
Oh,
over time. And I
okay.
don't think all the classmates would like to run overtime either.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem.
But anyway, okay. Well, thank you very much for your presentation, but it's you're getting much better as your presentation goes by, but at the beginning you were kind of just reading it from your slides and I was like, wow, if that's the whole thing, then I would
I was
not be happy.
frustrated.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. But my advice to you is then you will, next time or if you ever get chance to do the online presentation, especially, you need to be familiar with your, software that you will be operating, and also be careful on the, well, just be careful at the beginning, try to calm yourself down. Okay? But
Okay.
after all, it's a good presentation that you show. And thank you, Sabana, for helping out. Okay, you did a good job, Savannah. You even used the curse and highlight where Minnie was presenting. So that's great. Okay, so guys, let's just I don't think Savannah, you have to cut the sharing, the share screen. Yes, you know how? Great. Thank you. Okay, so one, you can stop recording for and then start recording for the next section. So for the rest of you guys, we only have probably about half an hour for discussing your online the